Hey, Micah, thanks for joining us. We know that Maryhurst, typically has a really successful luncheon every fall, I think it is. And of course, 2020 was different. So, will you tell us a little bit about how you all flipped it into a virtual event this year and how that went?
Sure. So yeah, our Journey of Hope luncheon, we've been doing it for 30 years. It's one of those big events that is not only a huge fundraiser for us, it's also a really important moment for our supporters and community to really rally around our mission. And so, I think everybody was in this boat when COVID started getting real all of a sudden in March, where we felt we need to start having some serious conversations about how do we get through this with our fundraising plan in general, but also with our major moments through the year. And Journey of Hope is our one event. We don't have any other event that we run internally as an organization. And so we started having conversations. We didn't make any really quick decisions. And in hindsight, that was very valuable to us because it allowed us to think about all of the people that had really invested and have sort of stake in the game with regards to the event itself, from an emotional perspective, so we could actually talk to them, ask them questions, get their opinions and thoughts about what we should do, so we could bring them along when we eventually created a solution. And in hindsight, although we planned it to some degree, it sort of just happened organically where we started having these conversations. But it really allowed us to communicate effectively with the people who host tables, our corporate sponsors, our board, volunteers, and staff to get the information we needed to make the best decision. And when we made that decision, people felt that they had some ownership over it. So we didn't have as much convincing to do to say that this was the right solution. So we did a lot of research. I think organizations across the board did tons of research when what's the best style of event. And what we thought we wanted to do was create something that allowed people to digest what Maryhurst is at a pace that made sense to them. We really struggled trying to figure out, well, if we had an event that was at a specific day, a specific time, and people had to show up for that, we already had an inkling that people were already struggling with Zoom, that they were over inundated with meetings. And so we said, well, why don't we do a week? We have a lot of things to create awareness about all the amazing work and resilience, our staff, our clients, our board, our sponsors and supporters. And so we decided to do a week and started planning it probably in April. And fortunately gave ourselves about 4.5 months to get the planning done and put things in place that needed to happen. And we're really happy with the result.